As I stated, with today being the first day of fall, you know that the seasons will change and we have to get ready for some new wind and weather happening. So of course, I am chatting with the most experienced meteorologist in Fort Wayne, Mr. Greg Shoup. Hi.
How you doing?
Thank you for joining me.
It's fun to be out here. I haven't been on this set before, so it's kind of unique.
Absolutely. And if you don't know, Greg is the meteorologist for the morning and noon show here on Wane 15, and it's such an honor to have you.
Oh, thanks. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, so I'm new to Fort Wayne, as you know, and I have not experienced fall yet.
Yeah, so I know that you lived in Dallas for a while, but have you ever lived this far north before?
I have not.
Well, you're in for an experience.
Yes.
Actually, fall is probably a lot of people's favorite season because it doesn't have the heat of summer, and we have temperatures that are very moderate. The leaves are falling, so it's very colorful.
Yes.
There's changes in the air. It becomes a little bit more crisp. Everybody kind of pulls out their sweatshirts and their sweaters and all their warm clothes. And, you know, it's just, hopefully, you know, it's just a very smooth transition and a very slight transition to winter. Now, sometimes it doesn't go that way. You know, this week we had temperatures in the upper 80s yesterday, and then today we have temperatures in the 60s for the first day of fall. So we can see those kind of dramatic changes during the fall season that we don't, or we really wouldn't see in the summer season. The angle of the sun is at a lower inclination, so we're not getting the sunlight that we get during the summer months. And also, and I know a lot of people don't like this part of fall, but we lose a lot of daylight. We lose about an hour and 18 minutes just in the month of October of daylight. So, and then of course we turn our clocks in November back. So there's a lot of things that go on. We start to get cooler. The average temperature, just for an example, for October is in the 60s, mid 60s, and the average temperature for November is in the 40s.
Wow.
So yeah, and then we go down from there, and of course December and January, two of our coldest months. But yeah, we kind of transition into that very cool weather, and it can snow. It has snowed a little bit in November. We've had some weird snows in October. We had one on Halloween. We had a lot of snow. It melted right away, but it was I think about 8 inches one Halloween that we had here. So we can have different kinds of weather, but usually fall is a season that people really like because they, you know, they're kind of tired of being hot and humid.
A little good in between.
Yeah, so it's just kind of one of those seasons that that people like, and you know, you can have a fire and just kind of enjoy the cooler weather.
So I must ask you, so there's a nationwide debate, I feel, regarding daylight savings. Should we have it? Should we not? Is there a way to eliminate it altogether? I mean, I think that we like it to stay darker later at night, so we don't like to fall back.
Right. Yeah.
How can you make it stop?
There's kind of a back and forth with that. As far as the weather is concerned, it really doesn't matter either way to us. But I know a lot of people, you know, like that extra hour of daylight at the end of the day. Getting up early, I kind of like it at the beginning of the day because, you know, I'll go to work in the dark and then at, you know, 7, 8 o'clock, it's still dark, and it's kind of nice to see the sun. But I think it's just personal preference. And it's very tough. Where we are, of course, there were several years that I was here that we never changed the clock. We were one of the few states that never changed the clock. And then they finally passed something just a couple of years ago. So we're new at this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a
this
chance.
is yes. Yeah. There's. It's kind of like what Arizona used to do. So that we didn't change the clock. So now everybody's trying to get used to that. And it was kind of weird because Ohio was always like an hour ahead of us. Or behind us or something, you know, and it never worked out. You could drive across the border and Ohio would be a different time than we had. So it was kind of strange.
So clothing wise, open-toed shoes, short
Out.
sleeves,
Yeah.
dresses, skirts. When will we start phasing out of those? When will it get too cold? In September, or we have a little bit more
Well,
time
we've
to get to
got,
October?
over the next week or so, we've got some 60s in the forecast. So, I mean, it would be up to you, but, we can get some warmer air. In fact, November, there's about a 55% chance that November is going to be warmer than average.
Oh,
so
okay.
we could have some 70s, maybe even an 80 degree in early October.
Okay.
So, you can, a lot of people do, and I know they hate this, but they do both. They
Right.
have their winter wardrobe over here and their summer
Yeah.
wardrobe over here, and they kind of change back and forth. And that's just the kind of season it is. But, you get late October, around Halloween, it's kind of cool. And then you get into November, and November gets very chilly.
So the
you
big
get in the
coats.
40s.
When the big coats?
Big coats, I'd say probably mid to late November into December. We're going to have some freezing mornings, though. We normally get our first frost of the season sometime in October, usually in the late part of October, and then we get our hard freeze. So the mornings are going to be kind of chilly, and so probably get out your coats then.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for sharing all of that great information with us. And you heard it here first on Living Local 15, how to prepare for the fall weather in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We'll be right back.